Hello and welcome to History 202, American History since 1877. My name is Jonathan Parker. I will be your instructor for the course. This is an honors course, so I know that all of you will be there on Tuesday. But just in case, we do have late registrants from time to time, and this is a hybrid course as well, so I wanted there to be a digital record of the syllabus chat, which we will be having on Tuesday. My email is jonathan.parker@icc.edu. Just make sure you spell Jonathan correctly. People spell Jonathan, I don't know, every which way you could possibly imagine. And then they get aggravated because I don't respond to their emails. Well, if you send it to JOHNATHAN or some other thing, I'm not going to ever have gotten the message. All right, so just make sure that you spell my name right. Office hours. I share room 216C with other faculty members. That seems to change from semester to semester based on who's doing what and where. So I don't know who I'm sharing the office with this semester, but if you need help, please do not hesitate to stop by during my office hours, and that's for a half hour after we have our class on Tuesday. I will stay later if needed. That's not a problem at all. Okay. So if you keep me there till 2 or 2:15, it's not a problem. It's no big deal. Other office hours by appointment only. I am thrilled to hold office hours virtually over FaceTime, Skype, whatever, via smoke signal. I am here to help you, and I will do so in whatever way I can. Please talk to me to coordinate a meeting if you wish to exercise this option, and I will accommodate you if we can find a mutually agreeable time to meet. Just a little bit about me. I am a part-time graduate student. I teach also at Heartland Community College. I'm not exactly sure what my status is, but right now, I last semester was working pretty much full-time at the Lincoln Heritage Museum in Lincoln, Illinois, where I live. So I've got a rambunctious 4-year-old named Victoria. I'm married. I've been married for 10 years. I have a lot going on outside of my work at ICC. That doesn't mean that I won't help you. That just is to illustrate the point that, there are schedules that our schedules will need to match and coordinate if we're going to, meet outside of class. And I've talked to students at 11 o'clock at night. I'll do whatever needs to be done to help you guys. All right. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns during the semester, please reach out. Remember, teachers cannot read minds. I won't know that you are having difficulty unless you tell me. Reach out if you need help. And I don't know. I'm going to be sitting in a room with you one day a week at least. But if you don't speak up, there's no way I'm ever going to know that you're not understanding the material, you need additional help, whatever the case may be. So, if you can't make the office hours, if you never ask me for help or for accommodations outside, the answer is always going to be no. So, you've got nothing to lose by asking the question. And you should ask the question. You should utilize office hours. I don't enjoy just sitting in there collecting dust. So, said and done there. I'm available by email. Otherwise, I will endeavor to get back to you within one business day of your inquiry. So weekends aren't business days. An email sent on Monday will be answered by Tuesday at the latest. An email sent on Friday, on the other hand, will be answered by the following Monday at the latest. And I just explained my schedule to you, so if I get back to you in 28 hours instead of 24, please don't bite my head off the next time you see me. I'm trying. General information you can read by yourself. So this point right here is one that needs to be hammered home. Again, there is no college, university, institution of higher learning, either brick and mortar or online, that is going to give 3 credit hours for a class that meets in person once a week for 75 minutes. It's just not going to happen. So the hybrid nature of this course, you will meet with me in person on Tuesdays only, and the class will be online for the rest of the week. And you are responsible for all work assigned in person and online. All right. Again, no college at all is going to give you credit, 3 credit hours for a class that meets just once for 75 minutes. We will meet in person on Tuesdays only. The class will be held online for the rest of the week, and you are responsible for all work, for checking Canvas throughout the week, all of it. Okay? And I went through that twice because the last time I taught a hybrid course, that seemed to be a very difficult concept for people to understand. You can go through the general learning objective and assessment methods by yourself, the materials of instructions, get the book, and any supplementary readings I will be sure to either upload to Canvas, we'll watch together in class. It will not cost you. All right, course policies. Email, as I said, it's the quickest and most effective way to get in touch with me. And the email address right at the top of the syllabus is the one that you should send emails to, and I will answer. Just as an additional note, I know this is, I don't know how this comes off, picky, I don't know what, but it's Mr. Parker. All right, I don't have a doctorate. You don't have to call me doctor. I choose not to use professor. It's just plain old Mr. Calling me Jonathan, I do not appreciate that. Use of my first name is disrespectful. Don't refer to me by my first name. It's just Mr. Parker. All right? And that should be what you send your emails to, Dear Mr. Parker, or Mr. Parker, : and how you address me in class. Assignment submissions. This is half wrong. I will not accept any electronic forms of submission for classwork, except when I do. It should say, really, I will inform you about whether something needs to be turned in class or submitted on Canvas. All right. It could be either or. Generally speaking, I tend to lean towards assignments handed back in person, but we'll see how this goes. I'm open to new ideas and doing things different ways depending on how classes go. But yeah, generally you're printing out a hard copy that you bring in and hand in to me. If you're sick, email me to let me know that you're ill, and when you can, bring in the assignment. There should never be an instance where you are emailing me any assignment. You're either handing it to me in person or submitting it via Canvas. And I know I said I will not accept any electronic forms of submission for classwork, but I amend that to say I will not accept any electronic forms of submission for classwork except when I do. I've gotten emails. Again, this is an honors class. I'm not anticipating this. I've gotten emails in the past stating something to the effect of, I can't come to class because I need to study for a test I have later. I'll turn in my work next class. If you send me an email like that, you're not turning in anything. That's a really disrespectful way of letting me know that my class is not important. And I realize that my class is not your life, but I'm a professional. You're a professional. I mean, we should treat each other civilly, and you should at the very least, pretend to care about my class. All right. Academic citation etiquette. Whenever you turn in a written assignment, you are required to cite your source if, and you can read through all that. You use a direct quote from a book, article, website. You paraphrase a chunk of text from the book, article, or website you use. You present a theory, argument, opinion that does not belong to you. It's okay to do that. It takes time for us all to develop our own original ideas. As I said, I'm a part-time graduate student. I'm still formulating original ideas and learning how to do that myself. I mean, I don't believe that anybody ever truly masters that. And I'd question anybody that would claim to the contrary, that they have all original ideas. I don't believe that. I think there might be one original idea left that somebody hasn't had in all of academia, and that would probably be it. So it just shows that, that you're borrowing from existing sources to develop your own answer to a question, and that's fine. That's appreciated. You should do that. At the end of your written assignments, you are required to provide a list of sources that you have utilized for the assignment. We will use MLA9 format for bibliographies and inline citations for this class. Now, that being said, also, if using MLA9 is going to ruin your life, if you are a student of the Chicago style, or you have used APA for everything since you were in 6th grade, great, use APA, use Chicago. I'm not going to fight you about it. The preference is MLA9, but, I mean, as long as you're citing things, that's what I care about the most. EasyBib.com, that'll build a bibliography for you. I know there are 1,000,001 bibliography generators on the web. That's just the one that I've used. So inline citations are also expected in any writing assignments that you turn in where you have used outside sources. And the outside sources, I define outside sources, anything that's not your class textbook. General guideline, if you have any doubts about whether something needs to be cited, please just create a citation for it. Don't take chances with your grade. I have never, ever, ever docked somebody's grade for oversighting. And goodness knows people have oversighted. I just take my red pen, circle this, that, or the other thing, say you didn't need to provide a citation there, but I'm glad that you take plagiarism seriously and don't want to do it. No points are ever deducted. I would rather you oversight than undercite. So please oversight. When in doubt, just cite it. Don't take chances with your grade. Wikipedia is not an academic resource. Again, Wikipedia is not an academic resource. Do not cite Wikipedia in any work that you do this semester. It will negatively impact your grade, probably to the tune of half a letter grade on the assignment. I know that I am on the losing side of this argument, but I still contend that since anybody can get on Wikipedia and edit it and make any changes to any article with minimal oversight, Wikipedia is not reputable. Now, to get this out of the way, that isn't to say that sometimes the links on the bottom that take you to some outside sources aren't good starting points for your research, but generally stay away from Wikipedia, at least in my class. Academic misconduct and plagiarism. So please visit page 24 of the Student Rights and Responsibilities Handbook. There are multiple forms of academic misconduct listed there. To sum it up, if you choose to engage in academic misconduct or plagiarize, the handbook says this: based on the severity of the offense, the instructor may recommend failure for an assignment or failure for the course. Multiple instances of academic misconduct could include sanctions up to dismissal from the college. This has been an issue every semester I have taught here. The first time I catch you plagiarizing, I will give you a 0 for whatever assignment you have plagiarized without the opportunity to redo it. This includes the major writing assignments. The second time I catch you plagiarizing, I will fail you for the course. No exceptions to this will be made. And other types of plagiarism include copying or obtaining information from another student, contracting for original work with a third party, and generating or revising assignments with the aid of artificial intelligence tools that were not expressly authorized by the instructor. And just to spell this out plainly, the use of AI is strictly prohibited under all circumstances in this course. I am never going to okay the use of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is cheating. You are just telling me how well you can feed a prompt into ChatGPT. I'm not getting any assessment at all of what's actually happening in your brain. Now, I've had the privilege of teaching for the Honors College often, and honor students at this college are typically either saints, and I don't have any issues with plagiarism, cheating, AI, or everybody does it. I'm hoping that you are all going to choose to be saints. But you have the consequences laid out now if you choose to cheat. All right. Late submissions. As a rule, I don't accept late work, but I get that things happen. You might wake up sick one day. I mean, when you're feeling better, send me an email, and I'll happily take whatever assignment it is. Also, if you think something might happen, if you see like a doctor's appointment coming down the road, ask for an extension. Say, I've got this happening, is it all right if I turn it in the following Tuesday? I would be shocked if I said no. I cannot, sitting here, imagine a instance in which I would do that. So ask. If you never ask again, the answer is always going to be no. But on the other hand, if you come to me with an excuse like I went to a Taylor Swift concert last night or I had other homework to do, you will not be turning in anything. All right. I realize that American history from 1877 is not on your list of the 5 most important things you're ever going to do in your life. But it's just disrespectful. You're basically telling me, I had other homework to do. Okay, my class isn't important. I went to a Taylor Swift concert. Instead of studying for a test, I can't take the test. Well, I can't help you. So just make sure, you plan ahead. You get your work done. You communicate with me. You do what you say you're going to do when you're going to do it. We're not going to have a problem. Again, with late work, honor students have typically been the biggest saints or the greatest sinners. There's not been a section that I've taught that's been in between. Statement on the use of artificial intelligence. In this course, this is important because I'm hammering it in, I think, for the 4th time now. In this course, you must create your own original work to be submitted for a grade. The use of artificial intelligence, including but not limited to language engines, text spinners, image creators, chatbots, is prohibited at any stage of an assignment. Coursework that is found to be AI generated in whole or in part, and it is mind-numbingly obvious when you've used AI. And we'll talk about that later in the semester. But that's subject to the following consequences: failure of assignment and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator with a first offense, and failure in course and written account submitted to the appropriate college administrator for a second offense. My dean teaches English classes here. She hates AI with a passion. Do not test me. Do not make me walk upstairs and explain to her what happened, because it will not end well. For me, because I will have to fill out paperwork in triplicate for all sorts of departments. For you, because you will have failed an assignment or the course. Just don't do it. Please don't do it. This is your one and only warning. Grading scales, as you would expect. Methods of presentation, nothing revolutionary there. Methods of assessment of student learning, class assessment, nothing revolutionary. You can read that on your own. Grade. This is what you care about. Research paper, 20% of your total grade. Oral presentation, that'll be on your research paper. We'll get into that later in the semester. You don't need to worry about that right now. Test 1, midterm, final, that constitutes 45% of your grade, and then classwork, homework, quizzes, i.e. everything else, 15%. Exams will be cumulative in nature, potentially including any topic throughout the course up to that point. Questions may include true, false, multiple choice, matching, applications, fill in the blanks, and short essays. If you have to miss an exam, let me know as soon as humanly possible, preferably before the exam. I understand that sometimes that can't happen, but I found that if students know they're going to miss a test, they generally know before the test happens. If you fail to do so, you will not be eligible for a make-up exam, no matter how much you beg. It is not acceptable to wait until the next class meeting, because that is when we will probably be reviewing the exam results. And this is true. When I give an exam, I typically put all other grading on pause, grade the set of tests, and get it back to you. Rarely, it's the class period following, 2 or 3 class periods down the road is what I'm trying to say. And that's if I give a big essay test, which I don't typically do. But it is safe to assume that we will be reviewing the exam results the next class period. So writing standards, this is for your research paper and your oral presentation, for which there will be visual aids for which you will need to write. Scores will depend primarily on the accuracy of information, organization, and intellectual quality of your analysis, but style is also important. Check grammar and spelling as carefully as possible and maintain a reasonably formal tone. I say reasonably, I would like a formal tone. Your honor students, I expect a little bit more. Careless, overfamiliar writing in the style of text messaging with friends or family is inappropriate in an academic or professional context. So you can read that on your own. College services, this should be standard on every syllabus you get in every class, so I'm just kind of going to skim it. Disability statement, if you need reasonable accommodations, first of all, you can just talk to me. I don't need an official piece of paper. But if you feel the need to do so, there is the email address, there is the phone number to call. Tutoring, the tutoring lab here is great, second to none. Utilize it if you need to. I'm plugging it for every class you take, not just mine. Counseling, we have counselors here to help you because mental health is health. I firmly believe that, but they're focused more on brief, solution-oriented stuff. If you need other help, you're encouraged to go into the community. Technology help desk. These will be the people you talk to. It's not that I don't want to help you. It's generally that I don't know how when it comes to an IT issue. So call the help desk, email the help desk. They can guide you to a solution. They are great. I have had to use them in the past, usually because I stupidly locked myself out of my school account. But they are here to help, and they are wonderful, and please use them. And again, it's not because I don't want to help you. It's just I am not the most technologically savvy person on earth. Career services, they're wonderful to help you with resume preparation, mock interviewing, academic success. Course withdrawal, it's your responsibility to drop or withdraw from a course. It's better if you drop or withdraw from a course than if you wait for a deadline where I have to do it. Because generally speaking, if I have to do it, then a withdraw or a withdraw fail or something is going to appear on your syllabus, where if you figure out, a week and a half or 2 weeks in that this isn't going to be something you can handle, you can walk out quietly and there won't be any sort of mark against you on your transcript. All right, Title IX, we are dedicated to maintaining a safe and healthy educational and employment environment that is free from actual or perceived discrimination, sexual harassment and sexual misconduct on the basis of sex, which includes sexual orientation or gender-related identity, under the Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972, Title IX, 20 U.S.C. 1681. If you believe you have experienced or witnessed someone that has experienced misconduct, please contact our Title IX Civil Rights Equity ADA coordinator at this email address. We are committed to creating a community that affirms and welcomes persons from diverse backgrounds and experiences and supports the realization of their human potential. We cultivate a community of care, just as it says. Commit to integrity. As a student in this course and at this college, you are expected to maintain high degrees of professionalism, commitment to active learning, and participation in this class, and integrity in your behavior in and out of the classroom. This means you will conduct yourself as though you are serious about your education and learning to work with others in professional environments, both on-site and online. Review the ICC Code of Conduct for information on your responsibilities. Controversial issues and civility for reading and writing assignments, as well as discussion. Be prepared possibly to confront historical events, concepts, and beliefs which you may find controversial, disturbing, and potentially offensive. I'll throw in there that it is not my intent to be any of those things. I am a history teacher. I just present facts. I tell you who said what, did what, and I leave you to draw conclusions. I do not, and I think I do a good job at this, I do not tell you what to think. I teach you how to think, which is what a teacher should be doing, teaching you how to think. That being said, I am a human. I make mistakes. I remember one class, I threw up a picture of General Sherman on the board and loudly proclaimed him to be General Grant. A student pointed out the error. I apologized, righted myself, and the class continued. All right, mistakes happen. If I make them, point them out. I want to know, because, learning doesn't end when you get a graduate degree, or it doesn't end, I think, until the day you die. So tell me, describing, analyzing, and understanding such things, these controversial things, does not mean we approve of them. If there is a disagreement, we must maintain an attitude of civility and mutual respect. We all have a right to our own opinions, as well as a mutual obligation to refrain from insults or hate speech. And I come down hard on that. There will be no insults or hate speech in my classroom, period, end of. Verbal or otherwise, that would impinge on others' right to a safe, shared learning environment, free from intimidation or harassment. Disagreements and debates are an essential part of higher education. The key is to challenge ideas intellectually rather than attacking people personally. Mr. Parker, you're wrong, because I happen to know that during the London Blitz, Winston Churchill did this, that, and the other thing. Okay, not Mr. Parker, you're a lousy so-and-so. Okay, there is a difference there. One, you're combating something that I might have said with a fact of your own instead of just calling me names. This is what I mean. So, attendance. First and foremost, your honor students, I hold you to a higher standard. If you miss 2 weeks of class, 4 meetings, either consecutively or not, without talking to or emailing me, you will be dropped from the class. And this is entirely avoidable. Again, I mean, it just requires speaking to me, either verbally or in writing. It just requires two-way communication, which a lot of students seem to have a problem with. Students are expected to attend class each week. Attendance is defined as completing classwork, doing homework assignments, as well as attending lectures. There is a 100-point grade attached to you showing up to class to encourage attendance. We will be keeping this 100-point grade. It will only be for the Tuesday in-person meetings that I will be keeping tabs on. So there will be a binder in the front of the classroom with an attendance sheet. Everybody's name will be listed, and it is your responsibility to sign in at the beginning of each class. This is for reporting purposes. when the college asks me to mark who the never attenders and non-attenders are. If you do not sign in for a class, you weren't present. When it comes time for me to determine attendance, I will look at the binder to see when the last time you came to class was, and Canvas to see what assignments you have turned in. In other words, you must be academically active. You can't miss lectures in or out of class and not turn in homework and expect to stay in and succeed in the course. Again, you must be academically active. The college handbook states that 5% of classes missed during the semester constitute an excessive number of absences for a class and may merit being dropped. 5% of classes constitute approximately 1 week of classes. I am choosing to be a bit more lenient with this. To reiterate, if you miss 2 weeks of classes for meetings, either consecutively or not, without talking to or emailing me, you will be dropped from the class. This will be the guideline I will use when determining non- and never attenders. I have had to drop students for excessive absences and would not like to have to repeat the practice come to class. And what constitutes academic activity? Examples of academic activity include submitting an assignment, taking an exam, attending a study group, initiating contact with me to ask questions about the course. In other words, doing something where I can see some evidence of you working towards the completion of course goals. Examples of academic activity do not include logging into our Canvas page without doing anything, talking about the class with a friend, going to counseling, personal or academic. You can read through this on your own. I reserve the right to make changes to the syllabus depending on how the semester goes, is basically what this is. Miscellaneous, your honor students, again, it's not the responsibility of the instructor to chase you down to make sure you're keeping up with your work. If you have to take some time away during the course of the class, you must ask me or a classmate what, if anything, you might need to make up. If you choose not to do this, do not be surprised if you start seeing a lot of zeros on Canvas. If you find that you have any trouble keeping up with assignments or other aspects of the course, make sure you let your instructor know as early as possible. As you will find, building rapport and effective relationships are key to becoming an effective professional. Make sure that you are proactive in informing me when difficulties arise during the semester so that they can help you find a solution. I want to help. Please allow me that chance, all right? Don't just throw your hands up in despair and say, I can't do it, and drop. Let's see if we can't figure something out. Since this is a hybrid course, you will need reliable internet access and an ICC email account to complete the course. You have an ICC email account. Students have tried emailing me on Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail, whatever mail. Some of them have sadly ended up in my spam box. It's not from anything I've done, but just what the college has decided to put spam filters on. So ICC emails always come through. This is the projected course schedule. Don't take this too seriously. This is going to get thrown out the window after the first class when we don't get all the way through reconstruction, which I don't think we will. So don't take this too seriously, all right? The exam, all right, we'll shoot for week 4, but it could be anywhere from week 3 to week 6, depending on how things go. So this is just a list of topics we're going to cover. It's not a guideline of how quickly we will get through them. So don't look at this and freak out, because it's unlikely that, not unlikely, it's not going to be the way things shake out that we follow this to the letter. Important dates: Martin Luther King Day, spring semester begins. You know that because hopefully you're in a room with me listening to me talk about the syllabus. February 4th, add drop date with a refund. March 16th to March 20th, spring break. April 18th, that's the last day for withdrawal. May 6th, last day for a late withdrawal with instructor and dean approval. I have always approved late withdrawals by this date. Then on the 15th, spring semester ends. And that's it. Hopefully, I see you all in class. Hopefully, we get some people watching this video because they registered late, because I always like bigger classes and more voices, more diverse viewpoints. But anyway, that's me. That's the course. And I'll see you all around.